Welcome back to another episode of the TI Junkies podcast. This is Joe.
This is Michael,
aka Stubtoe Joe,
aka Monk the Scientist,
hijacking the TI Junkies podcast this week to bring you a very special episode. Monk and I are part of the Midwest TI Championship held in Indiana every year, and we are longtime TI Junkie fans.
Last year, the Junkies were super gracious to have us on their podcast to talk about our Twilight Imperium Championship that happens in South Bend, Indiana, USA. And it was such a fantastic experience that we asked if we could do it again this year.
So today we're going to have a conversation with us, Monk and I, who hold a tournament in Indiana. We're also going to have on Brandon from Greater Vancouver Games in Vancouver, BC, and he's going to talk about his tournament. And we're going to have on Rob from Skilled Retreat in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, everyone, or as they say in Canada, hello. I believe I got that correct.
I think
is that correct?
Was a little
that is correct. Nailed it.
Hello, A.
It's g'day. It's g'day from down here.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, good day to you too, and good night a little bit later. So, Brandon, why don't you go ahead and tell us about what you got going on, where your tournament is, and when it is, and go from there.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We are in Vancouver, BC, the other Vancouver, and are enjoying some amazing weather up here. Getting ready to put together a TI tournament in May 23rd and 24th. We've got a really quite a nice Discord that's been growing over the last few years since January 24. We have a lot of growth, not just specifically TI, but a lot of games. But we have different tournaments. We just had a tournament the other weekend, different games, but we have the probably once a quarter TI tournament that we've had great turnout. We've had pretty competitive games, a lot of talent. So that's happening. We have a good contingent coming up from Seattle, from the big Seattle Discord, which was where I got my start in Discord. Was the Greater Seattle Discord. Shout out to Riley and Kat. They did a great job and are doing a great job down there. And I moved to Vancouver, so started a Discord up there, and it's been just growing. And yeah, our last tournament, a couple tournaments ago, we had people from New York, people from the Midwest. But yeah, it's growing, and we're having a lot of fun, and looking forward to hopefully having this is, I believe, our fourth or fifth one since I got up into Vancouver.
Awesome. Rob, why don't you tell us a little bit about your event?
So, we have a similar kind of story. We're down in Melbourne. We've got Skilled Retreat coming up on the 19th to the 21st of June. We started our Melbourne or our Australia and New Zealand Discord in, I think it was 2019, and I joined it in 2020 off the back of some pretty terrible lockdowns that had happened down here. I'd kind of stumbled across our Discord through Space Cats Peace Turtles, who then put me onto the TI4 online community, and then happened to play my first game on there, and happened to play it with another Aussie guy, and he got me onto the Cool Guys Australia and New Zealand Discord. And at that time, there was maybe a couple of hundred of us who were mostly, stressed out parents in lockdown who would then come out and, it was like going to the pub. You'd jump on there and you'd do split sessions most nights because there was nowhere to go. And and we ended up, growing our Discord to about 1,000 people.
Jeez.
Yeah, so... And that was very active during that sort of 2020, 21, probably all the way through to 24 period. But once the lockdown started to lift, I just had it. I just wanted to give something back and kind of say thank you for looking after all of us during that really tough time. And I said, well, let's put together an IRL tournament. And in 2021, we put one together and sold about 40 tickets. And then about 3 days before the tournament, we were all put back in lockdown. Mm-hmm. So we finally got to play our first tournament in 2022. and we had 50 people come from around Australia and New Zealand, including the famous Big Al, who comes to our event every year. And then in 2024, I said to the guys, let's, the tournament's great, but we have all these friends that come from Australia, around New Zealand, around the world. Even Rand and came all the way from America one year, and I said, well, you know, let's let's put together something that's kind of like these, conventions that you hear about in the US, where they have these big conventions, and that's what we did. So we put on a 3 day all-inclusive tournament down in Mornington. So
That's so cool. All right, well let's get into it a little bit. For those that don't know, we did the podcast last year where we kind of talked about our tournament. Um, and it's still a great listen. It's still mostly the same information, so you can check it out there. Our tournament is in South Bend, Indiana. This is our third year having it there. It's at their DoubleTree downtown. People can stay right at the hotel, and yeah, we.
One of the most important changes from last year's podcast is that we said it was in 2025. This year it's in 2026. So just make you get your year right when you come.
That's
it's
helpful.
also
That's
June
helpful.
27th and 28th. Yeah, we're glad to be able to do a 2 day event. I'm jealous of your guys' 3 day events. I also want to take Friday off, which I did anyway. I wanted to get to play TI.
It is an interesting thing, the 2 day versus the 3 day, right? So like, the kind of standard thing is people come Friday afternoon. They usually crash at the hotel, and we kind of have like a setup slash meet and greet slash help us get all the game pieces together. Come see where we're all going to be at, and then inevitably game of TI just breaks out, and then it goes till like 2 in the morning, and then they wake up at like 8 o'clock, and then they just do it all over again. But then we try and get everybody out. We start so early so we can get people, because people fly out, and different things. But it is interesting. I wish we could do the 3 day. It would actually make a lot more sense, but people have pesky work. So where are your events held, and specifically, what type of building or facility? So Rob, I'm really interested to kind of see how your experience compares to Brandon's experience, compares to my experience.
yeah, absolutely. So as I said, we hold our event at a place called Aluka Retreat. It's in Mornington, which is kind of like, it'd be like the wine country kind of region for Melbourne. Um, it's, really beautiful area. There's, kangaroos, there's wildlife, there's a lake. It's really picturesque.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It is very cool, and it's a venue where they have many different events. Some people have had weddings there, and some people have uh, you know, other kinds of events. But they do also hold basically, kids' school camps kind of a thing there. And so
Mm-hmm.
our venue has this big hall, with the open fireplace and big commercial kitchen, and attached to that is a is shared accommodation and like a dorm type of thing, like a backpackers type dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone arrives on the Friday. We, decant all of our board games and all of our things into that area. One or two crazy people will play Twilight Imperium on that Friday, and then after that it'll be uh, people who want to play, um, any kind of board games that they want to
Yeah, yeah,
play.
yeah.
Um, so that's that, and because it's got the commercial kitchen attached, we also organise all of the food as well. So you rock up for the 3 days, you get fed. You don't have to worry about anything for the whole time that you're there. You just rock up with your board games and your clothes, and yeah, and that's it. So
Sounds so nice.
yeah, and look, one of the downsides is that there is no internet and not very much phone coverage either. But I think that that's also potentially an upside if you think about it. So
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the drop bears too, right? Like that's a thing.
we do have koalas, although I haven't. I mean, I've heard them. I've heard them. They sound awful. I don't know. They sound like a wild pig actually in the night. But I've never seen them at Aluka. But yeah, I've heard them.
Interesting. Okay.
Does playing in an outdoor venue add any kind of extra challenges?
Well, it's not. It's. I mean, the hall is fully indoors, so
Oh, you're
it's
not
like
out there in the trees with like the
no,
the
no, no,
bonfire.
no. Look, as I said, Melbourne is pretty much like upside down Canada, and it is freezing here. So, especially in this time of the year, I think it might not get above 10 degrees. So, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold.
I trust you.
Yeah,
I trust you.
yeah,
Yeah, that's real cold. That's real cold.
yeah.
That's it's not.
It's hoodie weather. Hoodie and shorts.
It's okay.
It's like
Fair enough.
it's like 50.
It's Australia.
50.
It's Australia. It's Australia cold.
Well, riddle me this though,
Yeah.
because I'm curious. So, and then I'm kind of picturing like some place that like some family might go for like a
Yeah,
family reunion or something here in the
go to
States.
Toronto, bud.
What kind of tables are you playing on? Like, are they nice? Or are they like picnic tables, or what's the table situation?
It's it's just you standard kind of melamine desk type things. So what you would see in any kind of sort of mess hall or whatever. We just sort of shove two of them together and then put a neoprene mat over the top of them,
Just
and
go.
they're
Yeah.
good to go.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, same question. What facility is your event located at, and how different is it than this?
Oh, you really should have had me go. You should have had me go first because the picturesque sort of escape into the Australian outback is probably more picturesque, more beautiful. But Vancouver, Canada is also a nice location, uh, especially around this time of year. We so I connected with a sort of community center in the local Vancouver area, and we do most of our larger events there. There's two floors to it, and we rent out either the top or the bottom floor depending on what's available. It's just a really nice space, a lot of room. They've got tables and chairs already kind of there. We're sort of a smaller event, I guess you could say. We're still, we started in 24 and are still kind of generating that local connection to the local TI scene, pulling from the Seattle TI scene. So I haven't had the need for full room and board or anything that nature. A lot of it is just pulled from kind of the local community. But when we do have people come and visit, we usually bring them together into local chats, into either like on the Seattle chat or on our chat, and we'll just arrange Airbnbs with them, and sort of build little like mini TI houses where people can, like they get to know everybody. They have a place that they can stay. They sort of call a room, and we take care of all the money, kind of on the side like that. Nothing, no official signups yet. But it's really worked out. We've developed a pretty good relationship with the manager of this space. He's great for us, and I don't know, it works extremely well right now. But if we were to grow in size and need other accommodations, things like that, Vancouver has quite a bit to offer.
Yeah, there's a
So
lot
yeah,
there.
it works nice for us right now. But I mean, man, you make me want to come to Australia and check out this event. That sounds pretty awesome. Uh,
Anytime. Anytime.
Monk, do you want to tell them a little bit about like our venue?
Um,
please.
yeah, our venue is rather nice. It's a hotel that's in central South Bend. So, Indiana, not known for being a real metropolis, but South Bend is actually pretty great. We have lots of restaurants, which is what we do for fun. So, that's probably one of my favorite things about our tournament is that when we're not playing, we can step away from being each other's faces and fill it with some food that's just within walking distance. We did have a little bit of issue with having our tournament inside of a glass structured hotel. Like it's really beautiful unless you're experiencing a heat wave.
Yeah,
So
so last year the tournament was during the worst heat wave we've had in the city, and the DoubleTree downtown is fantastic. Actually, I know people that have gotten married there.
mhm.
They took a lot of the architecture from like South Bend used to be a car manufacturing town. They used to make Studebakers there, so they have some of the old architecture from back in the day inside the facility. And the problem is, it's all like a giant greenhouse. So when it was 102 and like 100% humidity outside, it was just brutal inside.
So it's
Um,
like Beakroom TI.
Yeah. Carnal came last night. You have to talk to Carnal about that. Yeah, he'll tell you. It
Thank
was.
goodness for air conditioning. I pray to it every night.
Yeah.
It thinks. Luckily, our venue was able to keep the temperature difference between where we're actually playing and then the other side of the door. So as we shut that door, as soon as we're able to keep it a good around 70 degrees
Yeah.
and got
Yeah.
the games done.
That was the challenge last year for sure. But yeah, no, downtown South Bend is actually interesting. So it's right across the street from what's called the old College Football Hall of Fame. So it's just kind of funny when you pull up. There's like this is American football. So there's like a turf there where they used to be able to like kick a field goal, I think. But it's also right on the river. It's right near our like really cool theater and kind of trendy downtown area, and there's yeah a lot of bars and things like that too. So it is a real great place to just kind of chill out at night. So um, all right, tell me about the format for your guys' events, and tell me is some of them tournament? Rob, sounds like yours is kind of like an event more. What's the general like flow and when what's the format?
So we would just generally do. So the Friday night's just free games. You do whatever you like, right? And then the Saturday we get up, 8 o'clock. We try and start, and generally speaking, it'll be multi draft or similar. We try
Mm-hmm.
and group the players into like by their rank. We use a rank which we actually invented, and I think the Async Discord kind of borrowed from us, which is sort of the veteran rank. So we put all of our players in ranked order, um, and off they go. Now on the day they can choose between 10, 12, and 14 points. Uh, you know,
You
by a
let
group.
them choose.
Yeah, we do.
You
Um,
willingly let them choose. Oh
yeah,
man.
absolutely. But because you will get groups that are probably the less experienced groups that are
Yeah.
probably not really willing um, to play out a 14-point game. But then you get we'll call them the insane players, the
Yes,
warlord
very
rank,
much.
the warlord rank and higher, who um, absolutely insist on 14-point games because they won't get a promo unless they play a 14-point game. So, those games will run from 8 a.m. till, sometimes 1 or 2 in the morning.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yes, um, so that tends to be kind of uh, the format, if you like. And then we usually get 6 or 8 tables. Usually it's been 8. At the moment, we're sitting around 6. And then the players who make their way through to the final, they play off for the glory of winning the tournament on the Sunday.
So what do you do if you have more than six people at the
We
so
would
you got eight tables. Do you play an eight player?
we would play an 8 player if we had it, but what we find is like some of the players on the Saturday will be so burnt out that they because it's pretty hardcore that a few of them will drop and just
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
look,
yeah.
keep it to a 6 player game, and I'm happy not to play the final.
Yeah, so that's something that this year I'm and Brandon, you feel free to chime in too. That's something that this year that we're kind of dabbling in is like, what do you do with players that are burnout? Because when we play, um, our games we play on Saturday, and day one is usually more chill. We only let them play to 10. We don't we don't let the insane people. We don't give them a choice. You know what I mean? So we only play to 10, and then all the winners, they move on. And this year we're going to try something new, where we're going to kind of give the winners an option not to play in the championship if they don't want to. So there's not really they're still incentivized to try and win the game, um, because all of our championship games, yeah, have gone at least 12, 13 hours. And so yeah, so Rob, how's that go if people get burned out, they just tell you and you just move on?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had, situations where people have either been burnt out or they genuinely can't guarantee that they will be able to stay, say, to 8 o'clock on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they've got to get home to their families or whatever. So they'll drop out. There was one year where we only had 5 that really wanted to play the final out of the sort of 8 that had won a spot. So we actually um, gave like a wild card entry to one of the greener players who had been eliminated on
Yeah.
like the second round on the second day. So he had sat there for the whole day um, with nothing to do. So we just go, oh well, let's just drop him into the final, and he was pretty competitive. So but
Oh,
you
that's
know,
awesome.
it's sort of relaxed, but also very cutthroat. Like the Australian meta has been sort of compared to the what do you call it, the Euro morning crowd kind of a thing.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't leave your home system open if you
If you want to play the game.
yeah, that's it. If you want to your slice, you can expect to have it either extorted from you or taken without mercy. So it's definitely a hard meta, but
There is no such thing as the chill imperial point in Australian
no,
meta. Yeah.
absolutely not. If you get an imperial
Love it.
point, you can
Love it.
expect to lose planets. So yeah.
Good.
It's
Love
awesome.
it. Love it.
Brandon, same question. What do you guys do with your championship game, and what's your format, and what's it look like?
So our ad or so in general our format is 2 days, about 6 tables. In day one, the winners from each of those tables would go to the finals in day two, and our day two is usually like an open games day for our whole Discord. So we'll have a bunch of other gamers show up while the championship game is going on. Not only to give them like a bit of an audience, but just we love to have games days. But just a bunch of other games.
Hmm.
They can play TI, they can play whatever. Um, we are a little bit more controlled or a little bit more restrictive. Our admin team for the Discord, like Dan and Jared and Persephone, some of the others, we love building maps, and I'll set them to the task, be like, hey guys, how would you feel about making a map for the tournament? And they're just like, oh yeah, they're in making interesting looking drafts for the map. We do Milty online, and what comes out of that are some really cool, interesting maps, and everyone has to play with that setup. All 6 tables play with a similar setup, but
Nice.
the faction pools, we limit the faction pools to 6 factions, but those faction pools might be different. We're trying to get like a dispersed like getting all the factions into the tournament. And so there's some randomization, but you'll roll for faction pool, and then you'll have these 6 factions to choose from. And typically there's a theme, or there's some
Hmm.
thought, a lot of thought put behind it. Some people really, that's kind of their jam. So yeah, then people come, and everyone seems pretty okay with this. We put out the slices about a week before, so people can kind of think. And we put out the faction pools about a week before. Uh, Come play, do things, kill each other. It's great. And then we've run into a similar problem of people can't make it to day two. So we usually try to look to like the second place player, or just ask kind of who would want to take their place. And our championship games have been full. Those have been a lot of fun. Our last one was so damn spicy. It was such a good
Hmm.
end to a TI game. And just like that's what you want, right? You want
Hmm.
competitiveness. And so everyone at we've had one brand new player to TI make it to the championship round, which was like first day playing TI ever was the day of the tournament. Um, they like watched some rules and they won because everyone kind of left
Wow.
them alone.
Okay.
And the West Coast meta is a little bit more cooperative, I would say. I can't speak for Portland. I've never played down there, but like I know there's a little bit more boat floaty, supportive meta here, and people are very like, "Oh, how dare you take a system from me?" And so I love to see that play come. It gets a little bit spicier in the tournaments. People they're a little bit less cooperative in those first couple rounds when everyone's setting up. But yeah, that's kind of the flow, and we're pretty relaxed. Everyone's been really chill, and most people are very welcoming in the community of new players, trying to grow the community, obviously. So people are usually pretty helpful, and the games go really nicely.
So let's kind of keep with that. So, what's kind of the general vibe for each of our events? So you guys kind of mentioned the Australians a little bit cutthroat. Uh, Vancouver's more chill. Um, what can sort of the average Joe expect kind of coming to these events? Michael, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. One thing about our tournament is that we focus on the newbies, the people that really want to play but haven't found their group yet. So one thing that we offered last year and we're doing this year as well is learn to play tables. If you have an interest in TI, you like listening to the podcast, you've watched the videos, but you haven't quite found your group, or maybe you have a copy, it's just hard to schedule. We're glad to teach you. We just want more people to be able to play. That's just kind of what we've done for our tournaments.
Yeah. Amen, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I got recruited. I hated board games. Now I spend my free time thinking about a board game all the time.
Doing a podcast.
Absolutely, yeah. So, we definitely have some people that want to win, but we're trying to be as welcome to everyone as much as we can.
I think for our group too, like the thing that I like the most is just meeting all these people. We talked a little bit before we started recording about how humbling it is, really, that these people come from all over the country to come to our event, and Rob, people come from all over the world to your event, really.
Yeah.
Um,
That's so
and
cool.
yeah, and we also do kind of like at night we do other games in TI. Again, the crazy people do another game of TI. I think last year there was a person who literally got 5 full games in between Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, and then they did another one before they left.
They were probably playing like 3 async games while
But
playing those
I
games.
assume why would you not? I'm in six
Yeah.
right now. Why would you not? Yeah.
Take your turn quickly.
um, but yeah, and we try and get as many new people as we can too. Um, we went to this game convention this winter time and open it up, and it's just funny. You put out the call, and it's just funny who answers. There's people that I was at a game store the other day, and somebody walked in and was like, how much is for your TI copy? And the guy was, it's astronomical. And then you can't even find Prophecy Kings, and then he saw the Thunder's Edge expansion, and he was just like, oh. And I was like, brother, come here. Come play with it. I have everything. Just come be with us. But we were at this convention, and yeah, same thing. We found a player who had literally watched a YouTube video and was like, I think I got this. And dang near won. So yeah. So Rob, what's Skilled Retreat? What's the vibe?
Well, look, I said earlier that the meta can be pretty cutthroat, and that is generally true. But it's also super welcoming. I think there's sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that there's this sort of,
You can do both.
oh,
You can do both.
absolutely. So, and I think there's sort of like a bit of an Australian character quality that it's like we don't take ourselves very seriously. So, um, you can be cutthroat and also be kind of a thing. But I think the best example of this is there was one guy who messaged me on Facebook and he said, I've played 2 games of Twilight Imperium and I'm really keen to meet some other people and come along to your event. And I'm like, and he's like, would your event be okay for me? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Like you'll have a great time. People will look after you, and you'll be okay. I go, so long as you know the rules, come along and play. And it was quite funny because I sat in one corner of the hall and I could see him at the other end of the corner of the hall, and you could just see like his face, like said, I have gotten myself in just way too deep
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And he just like kind of just watched this guy for 12 hours like a deer in the headlights. And but he still had an awesome time. We do like a bit of a trivia thing on the second day where we kind of do like a Twilight Imperium trivia, and they're asking all these obscure questions like what's the flavor text of
Oh no. Oh
this
no.
this specific action card or something like that. And then there were people who knew the answer to it, like, and but look, like I said, anyone can come along, super welcoming. Worst case scenario, you get beat up a little and you get fed and you meet some new people. So
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon, what's the vibe over there?
Uh, we try to. We're more of a board game Discord, and that have a kind of a corner of our Discord that really loves TI. I came trying to start a TI Discord and realized that just the love of TI wasn't. It's harder to bring them together in this corner of the world. We're getting there. Like we're growing, and the
Mhm.
TI love is happening. But it's a lift, like it's a tough game, and I think it's a hard game to have entry in. So that we do, I agree, we try to focus on new players, and I host like a weekly Learn TI on TTPG to try to get new players learning the rules and talking about round one strategy and just here's some big ideas of the game. And I'm a teacher myself, so I literally have like a little lesson plan, like a saved file that has all the components laid out to try to explain it in a reasonable way with under 2 hours, which is it becomes a long teach now. It's a difficult game with all the expansions.
Yeah.
That's
So
impressive.
we that that's our vibe. We really want to bring in new players, but we have. I mean, I would put some of our. I mean, I'm good at TI. I'm not winning championships or anything. I really struggle to play games during these events because I really want to host. I want to be helping people and welcoming new people. So I get really distracted easily. It's definitely why I lose all the time, is because I'm distracted.
Sure, sure, sure.
But yeah, for sure, sure, sure. But I love that we have really strong competitive players here. Players that know all of the little subtext, players that know all of the combinations. So there's some extremely high level play. But one of the things I'm really proud of the Discord and of the people that play here is even with new players, no one really gives them a bad deal. Like it's hard to know all the working economies of this game. And it's like, and the economies are constantly shifting depending upon what phase of the game we're in, whether opening or mid game or late game. And it's amazing how complex to explain like what's a trade good worth or what's a
Hmm.
token worth, or it's like that's complicated. It's like how many points do you have? Who's the lead? I love that people give people a good deal, even though they're new. They try to give them, they don't try to take advantage of that. I think that's definitely something I would take away from our more veteran players, is they're helpful. And it sounds like it's the same down in Australia as well. Just we're going to help you out and we're going to try to make sure you have a good time because we'd really like you to come back to this table is kind of the hope.
Yeah, one of the vibes that I keep pushing for at our tournament, and I think we do a good job of it, is, and I say this to everybody, it really should feel like it's your buddy's table, you know. In
Yeah.
fact, when there's like conflict or something going on, or if there's someone broke the rules, they didn't mean to, they didn't realize didn't have anti-mass, or something like that, and nobody catches it, like we kind of reach out to the tables to be like, well, how do you guys want to resolve this, it's like a tournament, so we kind of dial up if we need to get involved as like an admin team, like we do. But generally speaking, we try and have the tables like kind of come together and do some stuff, and I do think that helps new players a lot, because if you're at a table with five other players, and one person is out to get you, hose you over. Chances are there's four other people that are like, dude, that's a terrible deal. Don't
Yeah.
don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, and not only is it, I think Midwesterners are also famously overly nice, but also I think it's like just good play in general. Be like, hey, this guy's taking advantage of you. Don't take that deal.
I'd say a good litmus test for any like I'd like is there laughter? Are we enjoying the day? Like you're gonna spend 10 hours with us. Like we should have some fun. Would be the hope, right? A levity.
So, what's your strategy for getting games up and running quickly? So, one of the things that our admin team we talk about a lot. I don't know that it's actually manifested to anything, but we talk a lot about how do we cut the time so that the time that players are there is just playing TI. So we try and have games set up as much as possible. We have setup nights the night before, things like that. What are some of your guys' strategies for getting this stuff, getting players rolling in the mornings?
Ours is just the admin team gets early. All of our maps for round one, all the maps are the same, so that's easy. Our drafts are done. The players come and they just do the multi on the spot, and so that speeds up the process because we don't have to select maps. That's nice. All the faction pools are already selected. That's nice. But it's just admin team shows up. We have all of the boards there an hour early. People are pretty good about that they volunteer to offer their board. I get in. I can get into the venue anytime because the manager is now become a friend of mine, so he's really helpful in getting us in. And yeah, it's just body. It's just work, right? Just people showing up to do the job and make sure all the tables are ready to rock and roll. We use Legos, so we have this like stack of Legos that have all of the players' colors, and those Legos set the initiative. And if your turn, your Lego's on top, and then when you're done, you move your Lego to the bottom. And we use these on quite a few of our tables to like keep the flow of the games going. And that's actually been it's like the nicest piece of swag that some of us have is this
Is
like
your Lego?
stack
Is
of
your Lego?
weird
Now,
Legos.
Let me
Is
ask.
that Lego
Is
set?
it Lego or Duplo?
Duplo. It's
Du-
they're big. Yeah,
the big
it's
one. The big one.
it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I literally stole the first iteration of it was my daughter's, and I stole them, and she still doesn't have them back. But yeah, that keeps the pace going a little bit.
I love those little tricks, and it's so hard to find just the right purple and pink Lego.
Right?
Yup.
Thank you.
Rob, what do you guys do to try and keep the games
Well,
as fast as? I mean, if you're playing a 14 point, I guess it doesn't matter. But if you're
It
not
doesn't
playing,
matter.
or if you're not insane, which
well, yeah, yes.
we're all insane.
So,
Who are we kidding?
well, a little bit. I mean, we wouldn't be playing a board game that runs for you know 8 to 16 hours if we weren't a little bit insane.
Yeah.
Um, so we generally get everyone grouped, say like a couple of days before the tournament, put them in a channel in our Discord, and then get them doing the multi. On the Friday, because the sort of venue opens at about 3 o'clock, we kind of meet up for lunch on the Friday, and you kind of get everyone sitting at the pub on their phones doing their multi draft in their little groups. So that gets the map all built in time for the Saturday, and often people will on this Friday night, before they go to bed, they'll set up. We'll set up that they'll set up their game table so that they're ready to go, and then everyone's up at 8. Crawls out of the dorm and straight into
Mm-hmm.
the games while the all the staff are making breakfast.
Breakfast.
So
That's so cool.
yeah,
Can I ask a question about that?
yeah.
Do you allow backside deals? Like once they know their table, is it okay to like start making deals like in chat, or did you say like no guys, let's wait until we're all at the table before we can start making deals? Or because I find that like they've already planned out round one and like what they're gonna take and who they're gonna trade with. It gets really out of hand sometimes. The amount of like preconception that goes into it.
Oh, it definitely happens, but
Yeah.
the thing that usually throws that out is then the two objectives that they were absolutely
Right.
not planning for will drop, and then they'll be like, our plan is completely out the window. So
Yeah.
yeah, they can do what they like, and but invariably the best laid plans of mice and men fall apart. So
So our tournament we have tried to find a way to multi before, but we've just had a few cancellations and things like that, and it would have wrecked it if we had done it before and then somebody didn't show up. And then the other thing is that we've talked extensively about what to do with people that are like trying to make deals before the game starts. And specifically, the other rule that I make sure everyone's aware of is that if you're playing with somebody because we randomize, so you could end up. Uh, our local group, I think one year there was more than half the players at one table were at our local group. But I told them, you're not allowed to use electronic communication or anything like that. Like just because the person's cell phone number, you're not allowed to sort of send them, secret messages or anything like that. Because we really do want to try and give everybody a chance to make sure they're good to
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
yeah.
So let's take a quick step to talk about prizes. What are you guys playing for?
Oh, yeah,
Let's
baby.
start with Vancouver.
Okay, so this is one of the things we've been trying to do well. So we have we have a tradition. So we have a trophy that gets like a plaque on it from each person that's ever won in our tournaments. So right now we're on to our like fourth iteration of those little plaques, and there's 6 sides to the trophy, and hopefully we can bring all those players back in kind of a like a Zulu Seattle. They kind of have that vibe where they're doing like a tournament of champions. Um, so that's been fun. It's like a pretty typical, Etsy buy, but we have a tradition of going to like different Salvation Armies and finding awesome stuff for our trophies. We'll have like golf trophies, just like really fun, outlandish stuff. Like One was like these
That's
like
awesome.
deer antlers that had like a plaque on it. Like we've found some, and this is for every tournament we do. We go and find something. Like our root tournament, we had like a huge, like silver plate, and like we like etched in. Anyway, really silly stuff. But we do like raffles. We do big giveaways at our tournament. We have a girl that's coming from Seattle, and she makes Twilight Imperium buttons. And so every participant's
Ooh.
gonna get this like little $3 button. I'm gonna buy like 30 of those from her, and hook up people. But yeah, we have board game raffles at ours, which we really love to give that kind of stuff away. But you're playing for the immortality of being on the mini trophy, and then something that someone threw away. It's gonna adorn your shelf. We hope.
Rob, what about you?
So there's actually kind of a few little things. So I mentioned earlier that we rank the players in their Saturday game, and um, as part of our ranking system, we have a kind of roving title, which I think it was originally called Shogun, but whoever wins it gets to decide what it's called. And at the moment, I believe it's called Grandmaster. So if you get a table of 6 warlords, which is the second top rank, and they play a 14-point game, whoever wins it becomes the new Shogun or Grandmaster. Um, so on the Saturday, there's a chance for someone to be crowned the best player of the Discord. So that's the first little kind of prize, but I think that
For
that might be the most
sure.
heavily fought after prize, to be
That's
honest.
cool. I put that on my
100%.
business cards.
And then
Did you know?
yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah. So well, I always joke that I'm a warlord, but I'm the worst warlord on on our Discord. But
Like the nicest warlord or the
but
worst?
so there's that.
You know what I mean?
I think it would be both. I think it'd be both. So, um, yeah, what is it? Those who can't
Run
do
tournaments. Those
We got
those
the
who
teacher.
can't
We
do
got the
run
teacher. Cut the
tournaments.
teacher jokes. Cut the
run
teacher jokes.
tournaments.
Hey, teacher here.
Run tournaments.
I totally, and you're not wrong. Damn it, you're not wrong.
That's
Sorry,
it. That's
I just
it.
said a bad word.
Well, yeah, well, that's it. But yeah, so that's the first thing, and this obviously there's a little trophy to win if you win the second day. We've got like a lanyard that's got a little foil skilled retreat card with the dates of the tournament in it that we've done in the past. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that done this year, but that's pretty cool. Then we've got a local games shop, which is Temple Arden, and they're wonderful. They run 3 game days a year for us, and they really look after us, and they help us out with prizes. Last year we had a full copy of Arcs as the main prize if you won on day 2, and then whoever won on their table on day 1 got a copy of some kind of pretty nice game. There was quite a few different ones to choose from. Anything from decent, half decent euros and whatever else. But there's a little prize pool, and we do have raffles, door prizes, things like that. So yeah, it becomes a really really kind of festive kind of vibe. And also, if you want, you can win the trivia, which is that's also a little thing that we do. So
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, that's
Monk,
right.
tell them our prizes.
Why should we come to Indiana, sir?
Why should you
Oh,
come to
sure.
Indiana?
You want an answer for that question? So we have the trophies. So one thing about our tournament is that last year we needed 2 winners. We're hoping to have the same this year. If we had another day to play, maybe we could whittle it down to 1. But we have 2 trophies, and we're trying to we're getting together our custom play mats. So they're going to have our logo on there, which is what everyone's coming for. But also, the idea was to condense everything that we love about having on a play mat, so that you conserve as much table as possible for your own play section. So
Nice.
try to fill all the empty space with little comfort things, like having a space for malice. Yeah, we just went the custom route. We're trying to put a little money where our mouth is, Get something that looks really cool and nice for people that really love TI.
I think the prizes that have worked really well for us are things that people can like use in games.
Yeah.
So we've done things like just extra dice. We give dice away every year. We've actually got some
Well, that's a great idea. Like a nice set of dice. Oof.
yeah, we're gonna have some custom dice with our logos on them this year. It's gonna be pretty sick. The other fun thing that we do that's different than a lot of other people that is I didn't realize was kind of controversial, but I came up with this idea of what's called a super objective. Um, and I post these on Reddit every year. I think you can find them on there now. But basically, they're just like random things that happen during a game that you go like, oh, that's interesting. You know, like if you hit both of your anti fighter barrage on a destroyer one, right? Like oh, that doesn't happen very often. You know, or you get to travel four spaces with a flagship, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. So we just came up with a lot of these like kind of random things that can happen in a game because the idea is that if you play, if you play 30 games of TI in a weekend, like weird stuff's gonna happen,
Yes. Chances are.
Yeah, right. So we came up with these what we call them super objectives to score, and then as people score them, they would sign this little card, and then at the end of the day, we would hand out a prize for those. And the catch is that some of these super objectives you can be very gamey, and you could say, hey, I'm trying to score the super objective with my destroyer one, so I'm going to ram all these destroyers into your fighters and just see if I can hit them, you know and nobody wants that. It's going to tank the game, right? So by default, our prize for the super objectives is like the just the worst.
It's like a betting chip, so you don't throw your game over like
Yeah,
So
a bottle
here
of
is some
pop.
yeah.
IKEA napkins. Thank
It
you
wasn't even.
for.
I think last year it was dice that were not. They were not like Arabic numerals. They were they were something. They were like still D10, but they were of no use because you had no idea what the symbols were.
So you guys have been doing your events for a couple of years. What's something you think you've learned from the past events that is going to shape what you do with the next one?
Personally, for Greater Vancouver, I think we have an excellent opportunity to grow what it's become. We have an excellent, like, we're very beautiful centralized location. I get centralized in the top left corner, but there it's a hub. Vancouver Airport. Vancouver is such an amazing city, and people come here from around the world. It's a beautiful gateway from Asia. It's Seattle, LA, and even east. And so we have this wonderful location with so much to offer other than just a board game, but then so people could come to do other things, but then also participate in this beautiful niche hobby, as Rob put it. Um, we we just need to find that way to kind of flip that switch and move from a smaller local tournament to a kind of a larger regional tournament. And I think that with the right exposure and just getting some more of that kind of word of mouth, I think we're moving in that good direction. Because what we've done in the past has worked, but now I think that what we've built, the the foundation of what we've done and the good vibes, really good fun. I think that's a great sort of foundation to build even something larger.
I think for us, it's just really a consolidation of what we've done in previous years that's worked well. Um, yeah, I mean, I kind of love the idea of this being, an event where 100 people come along or something like that. But the reality is, it's a niche section of an already niche hobby, and maybe that dream in a small country like Australia is not going to happen. But um, I'd just love to see more people playing the game and coming along and enjoying it. Um, I I don't think I'd change too much. As I said, it's such an inclusive and welcoming community, and I really mean that. Yeah, it's just this great place you can go along. You can make some great friends. even when someone's taken your home system on round 2 of day 1 and you're sitting around watching everyone else play, it's still it's still a good day. If anything, people might get salty about win making. That would be the only thing. I think that would be the only thing that people get salty about, which I think Rand might be guilty of in 1 year of skilled retreats. So, no, it was very dishonourable. Yeah, look. It's been talked about ever since.
Shout out.
It's been talked about ever since.
The Rand incident.
The Rand incident, yeah. So I would say that it's just a place to come along, just have a great time, talk about your war stories afterwards, and yeah, it's just a great weekend. Yeah.
Huge thank you to Rand, all the TS junkies for letting us be on today. We all stand on the shoulders of giants
And Stooges.
and all of us want to make this community bigger and better. Thank you all for listening. Now go sign up for some events.